Google March 2024 core update is rolling out right now. It's a big one. And guess what? We didn't get it on the show. Check out the newsletter for more information. We'll cover it. Now, on with the show. Welcome back to The Edge. LinkedIn boosts quality posts. Your best content could be shining for months. Google tests a tool that refines existing quality content. A judge rules Google must address some of the antitrust concerns from advertisers. You're listening to News from The Edge for the week of March 4th, 2024, here on Edge of the Web Radio.
From the Edge of the Web studios, here's what we're looking at this week.
We looked at it, we read it, and we are bringing it to you in a podcast. We're doing this for you so you don't have to. That's our public service that we do each and every week, except for Morty, who's not here this week. Yeah. I hear it all the time. Well, you move the recording date, but the fact of the matter is, I'm committed to this show. Morty evidently, he lacks commitment. I don't know. Ooh, too sharp. Too sharp. This is Edge of the Web Radio. I'm Aaron Sparks, your host. I'm the owner of Site Strategist, a digital marketing firm here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're covering SEO and digital marketing news separate from our interview series that we drop each and every week. I get more news to you as quickly as possible, unless I can't on Monday, and I can't hit Morty's schedule, so I do it on Tuesday. And we actually are probably going to get through this a heck of a lot easier, Jacob. What do you think?
There's a chance.
Fastest very high probability.
Fastest recording ever. Perhaps.
Absolutely. Check out everything over at edgeofthewebradio.com. That's edgeofthewebradio.com. We've been doing this for 12 years. This is our 13th season doing this, and our episode 667, if I'm not mistaken. Lots of content. We talked about a lot of things over the years, but it's always focused on good steps, good tactics, never a black hat, except when we're making fun of it, so to speak. So check out our recent shows, but also go back in time and check out what we talked about in 2012. I know we talked about a mess of things back then during Penguin. Trust me, go check out those episodes. Anyway, that said, the title sponsor of the show is Site Strategist. We're proud to have them as the title sponsor of Edge of the Web. We're one of the top SEO companies here in the Midwest. Our team here is continually learning the best steps in the marketplace to be able to bring to our clients. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about what we do here at the shop later on the show. But if you want to check out what we do, go over to sitestrategist.com. Joining me this week in the co-host chair is Jacob Mann. He's actually dual performing here, jumping on board because I moved the puck again for Morty.
It's all right. I got promoted to the TV. And it's super exciting to be here.
Oh, wow. Do I have to look back here now?
Yeah.
You're not there. Hold on a second. I'm quite confused now.
If you do weather.
I can do weather.
We'll change the green screen to weather today. The SEO storm front's coming through that.
Well, exactly. Isn't that Barry Schwartz's position?
Yeah.
He's literally giving us weekly updates.
We should do an SEO weathercast.
Yes.
And just,
And just bring all the algorithm tools, all the monitoring tools to bear.
We could name different cities based off of the type of activity we're seeing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. We can get on this.
I can see that coming to fruition here a little bit later. We got to actually get Barry involved in that.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he could knock it out of the park.
Yep.
We should start naming all of these different algorithm updates and the tumultuous environment that we're in, right?
Yeah. Are you saying name the updates the way they name like hurricanes?
Yes, absolutely.
And like letters, like
And
ABCD?
letters.
Or should they just all be named after Barry?
I think Barry A, Barry B, Barry C, Barry C. Barry D, absolutely. We absolutely should do that. We want to jump into news this week and want to give you a heads up here. There's some weird things happening on the Google front. There's so much, right?
Yeah.
In the Google space of all the different things, including algorithm shifts. But before anything else, we at least want to get something outside of Google, and that's LinkedIn. So over at Search Engine Journal from Matt Southern, LinkedIn algorithm change could promote your best posts for months. A LinkedIn algorithm change can actually keep quality posts alive by suggesting them to niche audiences long after publishing. This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
LinkedIn actually changes its algorithm, and you can actually manage these posts with a suggested post feature LinkedIn says that reaching niche audiences with high quality content is more important than broad reach or vanity metrics. Amen to that. Marketers should also focus on providing unique value or insights, especially through the long form, in-depth content. So if you want to go over there, there's a fantastic article that was written by Matt Southern on this. Suggested posts. All right, so they're developing this new suggested post feature to promote relevant content to specific audiences long after it was shared. Right now, content lives and dies on the news feed very, very quickly, says a rep there. We are trying to collect the sum total of professional knowledge on our platform and make sure it surfaces whenever you need it. Now. Let me pause there for a moment and just kind of sit around that comment right there, okay? We're trying to collect the sum total of professional knowledge on our platform, okay? If you're bringing it all together, right, in related content that has kind of that semantic relationship of information and subpoints, and then give it up to maybe an AI engine to actually process, could this be a way for LinkedIn to possibly work a deal with other AI environments to be able to train it on its professional information and the insights of professionals in the LinkedIn space? Could this be a scenario where they're just kind of shoveling all of the pro information into a pile for the AI sandworm to come and scoop up the spice?
Nice. I feel like someone has just seen Dune 2.
I tell you, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
I'm excited to see it tomorrow.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Can we talk about that instead of this article?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a great point. Yeah, I think it absolutely could be. I mean, I think everybody is looking for that AI payday, right?
I think they are.
I think anyone that has content is probably scrambling at a minimum to update their terms of service to make sure that they can get that AI cash.
Yeah. The content is indexable, but if you actually start putting it together in a way that makes sense and relating it to its to easily spotable content. So here's the deal is that, yeah, I can choose my more suggested content to be recycled and utilized more often, right?
Right.
And then perhaps LinkedIn will give you a couple key flags to promote. Then it's actually going to be picking up all those flags from other contributors and then relate that to subject matter knowledge as almost like a turnstile or some sort of signpost that the AI engine would be able to actually understand. Now you're funneling some of the really good contribution into what was considered a professional, not gated, but professional network of information to help others in your own industries or what have you. Now it's all going to be put on a platter for the bots to come through and pick that up. Yeah, I'm just kind of reiterating myself, but I do think that there could very well be a route here that they're planning on.
Is there a problem, though, if you're dishing up all of your content to AI, you are eventually writing yourself out of a job?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not talking about like a content writer losing their job to AI. I'm talking about a social network that is trying to provide a source for business professionals. Like, I no longer need LinkedIn because ChatGPT tells me everything I need to know about my next resume, my next interview, my next, you know, what I should learn about SEO, because it got it all from LinkedIn.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
it's the same thing. It's the same curation concept as what we've been dealing with the SERP and its extracting information, right? But even to a more nuanced degree, you could be seeing a lot of these platforms. I mean, that's what Reddit just cashed out on, right?
The flip side of it is if I don't do it, someone else will, and they'll put me out of business. So I might as well take my money while I can, right?
No,
if I'm going to die, I'm going to die rich.
This stuff's not staying around for long, and these platforms are going to be looking at what they actually have from user-generated content.
Yeah.
All right, might as well jump in there now. It's going to get it sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how else you do it.
Yeah. Anyway, that sounded really weird, that statement, you know, and I don't know.
It's an odd way of saying it.
It was. All right. So another article from Search Engine Journal as well. This was also quite odd. Check this out. Google's testing an AI tool that finds and rewrites quality content. Now, the headline is a little bit, I wouldn't say deceptive, but there's a huge concept in here. What Google is doing, they're paying a small group of publishers to use their AI platform to rewrite content published on news sites, right, that are targeted by Google's platform for large-scale content parasitism. I'm going to use that word because they threw it in the article here. what's going on here is it's paying this group of publishers to rewrite with its own AI engine, right, content from other originating sources, spinning that content up and possibly moving that into the news feed. So this actually resembles a programmatic spinning of content that we've seen time and time again and has been spam content all the way. It's literally training on its own algorithm on how to write and summarize content and asking publishers to utilize its tool. And there's no barriers. Once this is actually done and trained, it can be trained on any type of content, not just news. It could go to recipes, product reviews, and what have you. So there's an incubation of a content writing process provided, sponsored, and created by Google. And there are publishers that are jumping on board to get a payout and help train that engine. There's a heck of a lot of pushback on this. Technology journalist Brian Merchant, who writes for The Atlantic, posted virtual thumbs down on Twitter, a sentiment that was unanimously seconded. He tweeted, "The nightmare begins. Google is incentivizing the production of AI-generated slop. If you're a news outlet who has accepted this meager deal, and especially if you're publishing AI-generated articles without disclaimers, you should be deeply ashamed." And that went on for a number of different posts. There is a huge response that's happening here. Hearing about what Google's actually doing right now. Why in the world would Google be training this content like this? Jacob, we were both shaking our heads on this article, and we actually had to toss this around a couple of times before we took it to production here.
So, I mean, the questions it raises for me is, first of all, we've had interviews with experts, and we're talking about the AIO, the artificial intelligence optimizer, someone who gets some content written, and then you go through and you tease it up, you fix it up, you add in some stuff, fact check it, right?
Right.
This doesn't really talk about that. This sounds like click, click, give me my money.
It does.
Which is super dangerous, because if Google's AI is spinning anything, that means it's got to be injecting something new, some twist, something, an opinion, whatever. That a news event happened yesterday, and it was interesting because of XYZ.
Right.
If it has no historical context, or if it has hallucinated historical context, it's going to say stuff that's close or way off. And so if people are just clicking a button to collect a check, it's going to create a whole mess.
Well, I think what's happening here, I see what you're saying. I think what's happening here is that Google is actually asking these publishers to intercede on that and say, all right, click the button. Now Google has actually spun this content, summarized this from a originator news organization. Okay, Mr. Journalist, come in here, take what we've given you, polish it up a bit, and then you'll get paid. That polishing up process is really what the training is all about, is being able to have that additional influencer, additional subject matter expert, right? And they're building a knowledge bank of that type of input.
So you think that's what Google is buying?
Yes.
They're buying your expertise
Absolutely.
and retraining their AI. Here's what you should have spun up.
It's fact checking.
Right.
At scale is that they're just moving this in front of people that want to get paid.
That's the machine learning.
That's the machine learning right there.
Yeah.
And, this probably quality checking that's going on the other side there.
And the benefit to you, small publisher, is, make a small amount of money for us, or a large amount of money for a small amount of work. I mean, I don't know how large.
Sure.
It
doesn't say in the article.
But, if you can spend 15 minutes to fact check an article and put that polish on and
you're
get
giving
a couple
away
$100 for it.
The most critical factor, your subject matter expertise. And that's what AI is trying to build into its ecosystem, right? So, I mean, that's what we're actually learning, where SEO is going as well. We're having to give our own expertise out there to not only disambiguate, but also differentiate ourselves from other content that's out there, right?
Sure.
But we're doing it with content we own. This entire publishing group is actually doing it, and they don't own that content. They're just giving away that SME juice. That's not going to fly, is it?
No. Let's not do that again.
We will not do that again. All right. Hey, we're proud to have Site Strategics as the sponsor of this episode of the Edge of the Web news series. We're celebrating our 20th year of digital marketing here. Our focus is bringing your company into focus by entity SEO, content strategies, content that's curated through subject matter interviews like we're talking about, but it's your ownership, not Google's, at least at this point in time. All focus on creating helpful content for you or your client. So check us out over at sitestrategics.com. Happy to have an hour consultation, tell you about what we can do for you as a complimentary firm with your agency, or directly for you, a new client that's looking for the ability to differentiate themselves in the digital marketplace. Go over to sitestrategics.com or 877 SEO for Web, 877-736-4932. All right, third article. Had to get through that one. That one was a little bit chewy.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Oh, there's more. Just wait. There's more. From Search Engine Land, from Nicola Adjust, Google must face some advertisers' antitrust claims, says the U.S. judge. They're going to face some, they're going to be facing a proposed class action lawsuit from advertisers claiming that it monopolizes the ad exchange market. A U.S. judge just ruled. Okay? There are some antitrust claims made by advertisers, particularly centered on ad buying tools. Those have been actually dismissed. The advertisers claim that Google monopolizes the ad exchange market, leading to higher ad prices for advertisers, limiting their access to more budget-friendly alternatives. And the ruling, the decision was to strike out some claims while allowing others to proceed. And that was made by U.S. District Court Judge Kevin Castell. And this is what he explained. The advertisers have not plausibly alleged antitrust standing in the markets for ad buying tools used by large advertisers, but they plausibly allege antitrust standing as to the injuries they purportedly suffered from the anti-competitive practices in the ad exchange market and the market for small advertisers buying tools. So there's some big beasts that are going to be moving into here. Gannett is going to be one of them. Gannett, the largest U.S. newspaper chain and publisher of USA Today, has the option to pursue a separate case to establish that Google fraudulently concealed the anti-competitive effects of certain technology, and opening the door for a heck of a lot of additional lawsuits in the form of a class action. So what has Google said? Dan Taylor, vice president of Google Ads, has denied the allegations. These claims are simply wrong, he says. The publishers have many options to choose from when it comes to using advertising technology to monetize. In fact, Gannett uses dozens of competing ad services, including Google Ad Manager. And when publishers choose to use Google tools, they keep the vast majority of revenue. We'll show the court how our advertising product benefits publishers and help them fund their content online. So this is a string of lawsuits here. This is one of the latest ones, right? The outcome of these cases, says Nicola, could force the search engine to implement big changes, such as a divestment of its ad business. I don't see that happening anytime soon, which could potentially lead to increased transparency, more campaign control for advertisers, and better innovation. So, big news on the Google lawsuit side of things.
Yeah. The one that always stands out to me is anytime that someone's accused of hiding stuff.
Yep.
Ooh, that's not good. I mean, we all know Google's big. Antitrust, that's always tough, especially when you grow. How are you not antitrust when you're the biggest?
Right.
It's going to be really tough.
That's a natural propensity.
It happens.
So you have to prove it, right?
Right. But if they're hiding stuff, there's secret emails and text messages or whatever saying like, well, don't let anyone know we did this thing.
That's the thing. And that all came out in that court proceeding, is that they had the thumb on the scale. And there were even inter-office memorandums as it applied to the conversation between search, organic search, as well as the paid search space.
Yeah.
So game's up, guys. There's going to be some money changing hands here. But the whole thing is Google's big enough to be able to handle a good deal of that, right?
Yeah. Then you get into that discussion of like, if we cheat and get $10 billion and get sued for $5 billion, let's do it.
Right. There's a 2-to-1
I'm
payoff
in.
there.
I'm in.
Okay, well, let's switch over to
AI news.
Yes! AI news. Over at Artificial Intelligence News, Elon Musk sues OpenAI over alleged breach of nonprofit agreement. This is from Ryan Dawes over there. Elon Musk just filed a lawsuit against OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman, citing the violation of their nonprofit agreement. The legal battle unfolding in the Superior Court of California for the County of San Francisco revolves around OpenAI's departure from its foundational mission of advancing open source artificial intelligence for the betterment of humanity. Musk was a co-founder and an early backer of OpenAI. I did not know that. According to Musk, Altman and Greg Brockman, the other co-founder, convinced him to bankroll the startup in 2015 on the promises that it would remain a nonprofit. In the legal challenge, Musk accuses OpenAI of straying from the principles through a collaboration with Microsoft, alleging that the partnership prioritizes proprietary technology over the original ethos of open source advancement. Whew. Talking about some big bucks here.
You know what I'm hearing?
What?
He's not getting his regular updates.
That's it?
Because
Right there?
Elon Musk is a robot. That's my joke.
Got it.
He's mad about his regular.
He's not getting updated.
No, he's not being updated.
Just reboot him then, please. He'll be fine.
Watch my Twitter account get suspended.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so there's some news for you. And here's some other news. If you're sick and tired or you just don't know how to deal with the information that's coming at you on a daily basis, from The Guardian, they're referencing, hey, you know what? Why not just do some AI therapy? Quote unquote, he checks in on me more than my friends and family. Can AI therapists do better than the real thing? So this article is over at The Guardian.
Quick disclaimer, has AI therapy ever entered our AI tools segment before?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
Yeah.
And we always say that we don't, none of those are sponsored.
No, they're not.
We don't
No, they're
recommend.
not.
We find tools that are out there and talk about them and mostly make fun of them. So
Absolutely.
you should have
But
been warned.
therapy is a serious matter, and AI therapy doubly so.
There's two sides to it. I'll share my opinion in a minute. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Anyway, so this article was from Alice Robb over there, and she gives a good story about how AI therapy helped someone. Hence, ChatGPT launched in November 2022, startling the public with its ability to mimic human language. We've grown increasingly comfortable conversing with AI, whether entertaining ourselves with personalized sonnets or outsourcing administrative tasks. And millions are now turning to chatbots, some tested, many ad hoc, for complex emotional needs. Can texting with an AI therapist possibly soothe our souls? All right, there's the premise right there. And I paused on human mimicry, okay? We are still, and hopefully for the foreseeable future, in a mimicking space, right? Not an alternative space where AI is actually going off the rails, coming back with thoughts that had not. There it is. It's an Easter egg every time. I appreciate it. But there's the deal is that there's not thought in AI. It's mimicry with complex permutations of math, okay?
Yep.
That's what AI is. It's not someone who's actually empathizing. A therapist has been schooled, has gone through a number of different years, if not decades, of knowledge of how to actually navigate some extreme emotions, right? All that is set aside if you actually put the coin in the slot, pull the lever down, and hopefully you have something that resonates with you. It could very well be a self-affirmating type of therapy session that has no constructive goals whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the thing that's appealing about AI therapy is access.
Correct.
Therapy is expensive.
Yep.
Both on your wallet and also your time.
Yep.
If your preferred therapist is only available from 9 to 5 and you have a job that's 9 to 5, that's difficult. If your therapist for your kid, same thing. Now you've got to get time off work and go pull your kid out of school. Like there's just like all of these hurdles
Yeah, I'm tracking
that
with
make access difficult. So AI therapy can help there. But to your point, it only knows what it is inventing,
Sure.
right? And
well, it's not inventing. It's machine learning from input.
right.
It's not inputting itself.
Right. But it still has no ability to. I mean, I would even obviously real therapy is always going to be better, and I would even say in-person therapy is better than video therapy with
Sure.
a real person, because there's just nuances and things that happen. Like,
Right.
so if anybody's looking for therapy, in person, face to face is best. Video's second best. Texting or emails third best, and AI is probably fourth best. But
I'd say actually the bartender is probably fourth best,
Okay.
and then go to
yeah,
AI.
because that's still at least a person, right?
Exactly.
But like if you need help, if you need help quickly, if you need that first kick, I would hope that maybe an AI therapist would have some sort of programming in it that at some point would say, like, I think you need some more resources or something. Like
And who's in charge of that?
I don't know,
Right.
because that of all the places to not need a hallucination, that's one. You don't need it suggesting bad ideas
Absolutely.
or missing a critical moment in someone's life and missing a key detail that
a key detail,
a real person would catch.
Exactly. I
So-
think AI now and for the foreseeable future has to stay in the box of tools that humans wield. Right. And there's no excuse. There's no advantage outweighs that foundational need right there. And my God, I can see it. There's going to be huge businesses built on this. And what about the liability? What happens whenever something happens and it's not picked up on?
It could be a good tool for a therapist.
Sure.
What if part of your therapy is you talk to a bot once a week for 30 minutes and then your therapist reviews that conversation later on, because maybe you open up more to a bot.
Sure.
And then maybe your therapist can scan, or AI can even help them pull out key phrases that they can focus on. And then instead of having a 1 hour conversation, they have a 15-minute review session.
And it could assist the therapist to pick up on things that it didn't see.
There's some great things it could be used for.
But let it run in the background.
Yeah.
All right.
But as your full-time therapist, not a good idea. Do not recommend.
But, actually, we probably really shouldn't be worrying about it because Elon Musk says we're going to be running out of electricity and transformers in 2025 anyway. That's what he says, that AI will actually.
That's a great picture, by the way.
That's terrible.
They do not get their aspect ratio correct on that projector.
They did not. No, this is over at Bosch Connected World Conference. And Elon actually chimed in with a video representation. He chimed in remotely and said, I've never seen any technology advance faster than this. The chip shortage may be behind us, but AI and EVs are expanding to such a rapacious rate that the world will face supply crunches in electricity and transformers next year. It was a dialed-in Q&A at the Bosch Connected World Conference, and he spoke about self-driving cars and humanoid robots, of course, because he's an evil genius, right? And he hinted at what's coming next from Tesla in electric vehicles, but he clearly wanted to send the clearest possible signal to the industry as well. Get going on clean energy generation and make as many electrical transformers as you possibly can.
Interesting. Did he say buy Tesla cars? Would that help, Elon?
I think it's like really damn close to having it as a sales pitch.
You know what would help right now, world? Buy Tesla cars.
Buy Tesla cars.
And Tesla roof tiles.
Oh my gosh, did you hear there was a study that came out that actually blamed EV? It was 30% higher toxicity than combustion engines because the tires, because the EVs are heavier than a regular gas car, and the tires break down quicker, and the toxins out of the tires actually more toxic than gas exhaust.
Time for hover cars.
Exactly. See?
Yeah, I'm here to fix things.
I'm not weighing in one side or the other, folks. Just came across that piece of information. That was the weirdest. Time for hover cars is the absolute answer. Oh, you know what it's time for? It's time for an AI tool. And I got one in particular that I want to bring to you guys before we wrap up today. I know we got some berry here, but check this out. If you go to replicate.com, FOFR, it's face to sticker. You can transform any picture into a sticker. So any selfie, any picture of your dog or your cat,
and it's free.
Or you could actually put your co-host picture in there as well. Look at that. That is a beautiful thing. Let's bring that full,
good, Morty.
Let's bring that up, Morty. Full screen. We've got what was a series of prompts here?
This one was South Park cartoon character with a winter hat.
So
I don't think it nailed the South Park side of it all that well.
We got a nice winter hat there.
It's a little too detailed for a South Park cartoon, but
Yep.
I like the colors, and I like the way it looks.
I really do think we have to take this to the full hilt and make stickers out of this thing.
I'm on it.
Yep.
I can do that.
We'll do that. We'll hand them out at Brighton SEO.
No, I'm going to stick them all over the city of Indianapolis. Every single stop sign is
It's a pretty cool tool, guys.
It's going to
Check
say
it out.
stop, and then there's going to be a picture of Morty right next to the word stop. Stop, Morty.
Had to do it. I just sent that one over to him anyway, just guilting him that he wasn't on the show. So I'm sure I'll hear back from him. Oh, yeah. By the way, he already did. All right. So want to make sure that you know about our ongoing sponsor of the show. That's InLinks. Proud to have InLinks as a sponsor of Edge of the Web. Did you know that entities play a major part in how search engines understand and rank content on the web? Optimizing your content solely on keywords is the thing of the past. Don't do it. Haven't been there for the longest time. Focus on entities, subject matter expertise, and you can utilize InLinks, an award-winning software in entity SEO. Gives you expert level data to know what to write, in what order you should be writing it to be competitive, and what type of relationships you should have in your content. Go over to edgeofthewebradio.com/InLinks today. That's INLINKS to claim your free InLinks account and start creating content that will outperform your competitors. Barry Blast. You know, I said earlier in the show that this thing was going to go swimmingly, but we burned some minutes here, haven't we?
Well, in editing, nobody will know.
This is some big topics that we got going around here.
Yeah.
So check this out.
Oh, my favorite.
Your favorite?
Yeah.
What, local new verification processes?
I just know how much fun we've had with
yes. It's been wonderful.
verification processes.
Google local service ads to gain new verification processes. This is from Search Engine Roundtable by Barry Schwartz. Barry writes, Google may roll out a new verification process for its LSA program. Supposedly, this verification process will soon reduce spam within the LSA program and lead to legit businesses having an easier time getting exposure in the space. Corey posted about this on X. He wrote, big change coming to LSA. He said he spoke to his ad rep and Google, who told him there's a new verification process about to roll out, and if you don't verify within 60 days, you'll get kicked out. Fantastic.
This will cause zero problems.
If you've not wrangled with local service ads, especially in certain industries, we wish you the best there. It is tough sometimes, especially in locksmiths or garage door openers or moving companies, because they have that personal security issue there. Anyway, point being is
parts of it just feel so final. This kicked out stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know. Not everyone has an agency. Not everyone has the technical people there. Like, it's a pain. It's a real pain. And then when you have an agency of technical people, there's still problems. So it's just, I don't know. I hope it truly is easier for the legit businesses.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Another article, Google Popular Opinions Search Carousel. Now check this out. This is kind of cool. All right, Google Search is testing a carousel named Popular Opinions. The section shows articles with opinions on products or other topics. The example that we see on screen here shows what it looks like on other topics. This was spotted by Brody Clark, who posted on X, and there's a link in our show notes to what he posted there. So you've got like Sony XM4, which are a set of headphones there, and then there's a carousel of popular opinions, looks to be product reviews and the like, right? Brody wrote, Google is now testing out a popular opinions carousel on the desktop. Different to the perspectives carousel, the popular opinions carousel seems to only feature links in to articles, rather than social media and forum posts. Interesting. He also saw a section named Perspectives and Opinions a year ago, and it looked like this, says Barry. So check that out. Now, interesting that it's not showing up any forum posts. I think there's a bit of a pushback happening, especially as Reddit's been purchased. There's a clamor of SEOs. They're asking for a little bit less forums and a little bit more content. I doubt that Google responds that quickly, but I think they may very well be counterbalancing the SERP real estate with a little bit more opinion focus, or more importantly, blog content and review content than forum content, especially in this space. So we gotta, I guess, know where our battles are, right? As we write different content, if it's a gold rush to go get your content on Reddit, you may very well miss out on some other SERP real estate pieces that Google's paying attention to a little bit differently. So check that out. Any thoughts there on the Popular Opinions Carousel?
No, I haven't seen it yet, other than the screenshot. So it'll be interesting to see if it is truly articles. Yeah, it'll be good to get out of the forum space, because then you get back to the authority of some of these big tech sites that write really good articles, whereas a forum could be anybody.
Anybody, and exactly. That's
not that those opinions are bad, but sometimes
there's not nearly as much foundational quality in those forums as other larger platforms, right? And that could be very well debated as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Last article before we wrap up today. A survey says most SEOs dislike Google more than ever before. I just wanted to end the show with this punctuation. Barry says there's no doubt that Google is going through a rough patch right now on many fronts, between all the complaints about search quality, all the search bugs, the revelations from the DOJ investigation, click data confusion, shaking the cushions, Gemini faults, the list goes on, he says. Plus, of course, Google is the big guy and is no longer the little startup that it was 25 years ago. It's no wonder that SEOs like Google far less today than they did years ago. So he ran a poll, they had almost 1,800 votes. Options were, I like Google more now, I like Google less now, I feel the same as before. 67.9% of SEOs feel that Google's doing a poor job. They like it less than ever before. That's a huge number.
6% like it more. I mean, that's the takeaway.
That's the real takeaway right there.
That's wow. I'd be curious. I mean, I know he doesn't have this. I would love to see like either the age associated with this, or maybe like the age in the industry. Like
right.
That 6% are those people that are new to SEO and are just like figuring all this out and they're amazed.
Right.
Or, I don't know.
Well, hopefully, how do you qualify as an SEO that's going into this poll? I mean, Barry called for
That's
him.
true. Yeah.
Long and short of it here is...
do you think 6.5% of his followers work for Google? That could be an interesting poll.
They pointed
do you work for Google? 6.5%.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you saw a lot of issues here, and Google's certainly going through a rough patch right now. We've reported on it today, right? Even to the degree, I mean, this is beyond SEOs. The headline on news organizations are literally talking about the call for Sundar Pichai, the CEO, to step down because of how he's running the ship right now. So there's a lot of pushback on just the experience that Google's presenting right now.
Right.
Got a lot of faulty missteps, a lot of missteps when it comes down to product delivery and what have you. We all are just asking for Google to calm down on the updates so much and give us a good, solid product to be able to utilize and be able to manage our own clients' success, right? But they've got their own monetization goals of this organization. This is not a free environment. They have to keep up with what's happening in technology, completely understand that. But man, the spam that's coming up, the choppiness, the volatility that's out there, nothing can really be held on to as stable property right now. Yeah. It really can't be. Boy, so with that, we wish the best to Google because...
Good luck.
Absolutely. Good luck, guys. Any final thoughts before we wrap this one up?
No, I was just thinking back to 20 years ago when saying like, "Oh, I use Google," made you feel like you're really smart and special, someone different.
Yeah, well, maybe I don't know. There's been a lot of changes over the years. It is the biggest company to be able to create positive change, honestly, in the digital ecosystem.
Let me ask you this: do you think, let's say that this sentiment never goes away?
Okay.
And Google, let's pretend for a minute that Google never recovers from this. Do you think Google will be replaced by something as big or bigger? Either an unknown that we don't know about yet, or Microsoft, or do you think there will never be another Google?
I don't think there will be a Google that large. I think it's going to go the way of, honestly, television had the 3 broadcast networks. We're in a fractionalized consumption era there. You can personalize all your media down to playlists, to AI-generated information for you.
Sure.
We're now going to be in a place where we're going to dictate our digital ecosystem at a per-person basis, and you're just not going to have megaliths of companies. It's all going to be getting to a one-to-one connection with your user, and it could be a much more narrow group of users, but it's going to be specialty nuance. Right. You're going to have the separation of the mass that just wants general consumption, and then a separation of fractionalized content that are going to be much more specialized and more valuable content as well, and trustworthy content.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. That's my take.
Makes sense.
Cool.
I'm going to talk to my AI therapist about it.
If you would.
I'll let you know what he says. Thank you.
All right, that's it for The Edge. Sorry, Morty couldn't be here, but man, we nailed a few articles today. Would have loved your contribution. Maybe we'll just case it with a few stickers.
Here you go.
All right, that's it for The Edge. Be sure to like and comment our YouTube channel. And also, if you feel up to it, give us a review today. Go over to ratethispodcast.com/edge today and give us a 5-star if you think we're worthy of it. We'd love to hear from you and let us know what you've liked over the last few episodes. And from all of us over at Edge, stay safe, stay well, and do not be a piece of cyber driftwood. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.